This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications. This is KHQA. It's your news now.
Well, howdy, true believers. This is Saturday, September the 1st, and you have entered Overtime, a 30-minute thrill ride through the world of tri-state sports, or as it might be better titled on this particular night, with apologies to our friends at the Weather Channel, Storm Stories. To say it's been a sloggy slog, or a soggy slog, I should say, through the holiday weekend is just a bit of an understatement, but we here are the hardy sort in your friendly neighborhood sports department and not easily deterred by a few sprinkles and or exposure to the leftover remnants of a hurricane. Fortunately, there was a goodly amount of great volleyball action indoors today, and we'll bring you all of that fun from the Early Bird and the Suns Classic tonight as well, but we start battling the elements with bonus high school football rescheduled from a rough weather night in Whitehall. Brown County tried to go to 2-0 in the season. You know what? Facing a very, very improved North Green team looking to win back-to-back games for the first time in forever. They just won their first season opener since 2006 last week at Unity, and away we go in this one. Great start for the North Green Spartans off the great jet sweep right there. It's James Holloman taking the ball deep into the red zone. That sets up Caden Davis, makes it 6-0. A safety would later make it 8-0 North Green. They're on top, and then the Hornet defense goes all black keys on North Green and about to tighten up right here, courtesy of Nathan Fisher with a great tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Michael Scoggin in at quarterback for the injured Tim Woodward, and this is a magnificent run from the big fella. Look at him breaking through. He's got a little Tim Tebow to him with that ability to run and that ability to lower the shoulder. And we told you, Brown County Hornets, you girls would make the highlights tonight. You did. No one has to cry. Later in the drive, it looked like Brown County was stymied, but this, my friends, the very epitome of roughing the punter. Scoggin goes down 15 yards. That sets up the first score of the day for Brown County. It comes right here, courtesy of Nathan McDara, who goes in and cuts the lead down to 8-6 at that point. Nathan Fisher playing some more defense, and he is a bad man. And that, my friends, is the very epitome of a bulldog. Again, that Brown County defense standing up in the first half. As time expires at the end of the first half, Brown County still down 8-6. To the air goes Michael Scoggin. He's going to find Alec Boylan, who's going to come free and just make the magnificent cutback move to get into the end zone. You can hear the whistle going off in the background. Good score there. That, along with an Adam Veith two-point conversion, which you will see eventually right here as Veith, the big fullback, plows his way in, thanks to an assist from everybody on the Hornet offensive line at that point, makes it 14-8 Brown County at the half. However, North Green comes up with a fumble recovery and a long conversion attempt to make it 15-14. Brown County struggling down the stretch, trying to make a miracle happen. Scoggin into the air right here, but this is Adam Knox with a pickoff to seal the deal. Brown County upset today on the road at North Green. And look at North Green, now 2-0 on the season. Tell you what, the WIV South is very, very tough, much tougher than anyone imagined. Brown County 1-1 going into next week's big showdown with Triopia. Meanwhile, Don Bigley's crew at the mud pit today that was Pittsfield. Early on in this one, big Zach Abney. He's a wrestler. He's got a wrestler's mentality. He likes to grind it out. Almost impossible to tackle on this day. He was good. Later in the drive, it's Kyle Smith finding a hole. He'll be tackled right down at the 1-yard line. That would set up Abney, who's going to go in for the 6. The PAT would fail. It was 6-0 Sockies at that point. Later in the second quarter, it's more of Kyle Smith. He was like a bulldozer today, just dragging people along with him. They're going along for the ride at this point, but to no avail because Kyle has not given up the ball. He's not given up yards. More of Mr. Smith. This time he's going a little deeper into the zone and into the end zone, my friends, to make it 12-0 Sockies at that point. Princeton would put together a TD drive in the third on the quarterback keeper to make it 12-6. As they cut into the Socky lead. Then the rain came pouring down straight, and it was all about the defense. The Sockies say they're committed to a better defense. They showed signs of it today after a rough start against Illini West. The defense coming up strong in this one. This ridiculous pass completion, though, would help the Tigers' cause, but Dalton Westfall going to force the fumble right here. He was a man possessed today as the Sockies hold on for victory number 1 of the season. Good for Don Bigley's crew. They're 1-1 on the year, 12-6. Nice win for them. By the way, we're still not complete. One more football game tomorrow as Jacksonville goes to Chatham Glenwood, but right now we have put I think close to 15, 16 Hero of the Week nominees on our board at Facebook for you to vote on. So far, your early leader by a runaway, South Shelby's Wes Mefford. We've got a big tie, though, at number 2 right now. And again, remember, you have all the way until Wednesday night to vote at 8 o'clock to vote for your winner, who will be honored on Tourisms. But right now, J.R. Boyd and Cole Thurman from Rushville Industry, both of whom rushed for over 200 yards against BPCA, are both tied currently in second place, along with Central Southeastern's Dalton Hubner. Plenty of chance to vote. Go onto our Facebook page. You can find it very easily. Access it through Tourisms and vote for your favorite candidate. You might have to scroll down the page just a little bit for that first one, but do so. Certainly worth your while. Let's look ahead to week 3. I mentioned Brown County Triopia. That game loses just a touch of its luster, but again, it's Brown County and Triopia, so always fun. Other games of intrigue last week, maybe the best 0-2 team around, as you saw Palmyra to South Shelby. They're going to go at it. Plenty more. We'll talk more football later in the week. Let's talk some volleyball. Blue Devils Q&D. Does it get any better than that to start the earlier bird? And that's Monica Bumbry off the great feed from MVP India Green, getting it done. Next point, it's green setting Miss Alex Dietrich, and she can throw down as well. Quincy High possessed at that point, up 12-5. All Quincy High early on as the Devils took first set 25-9. In this one, Q&D, though, finding its way back in set number 2. Kristen Gengenbacher right here puts Q&D up 4-3 early at that point. Then it will be Carrie Ann Steinbecker, who's going to come up strong for her team as well. Very effective, scoring the ace right here. Tell you what, Quincy High very good in serve receive. Q&D, though, must have been serving well to get that in. Later, it's Cassidy Foley. She's a human jumping jack. Doesn't have to go high for this one, though. She puts Q&D ahead 20-16. The Raiders would win set number 2, 25-20. We go to the final set. Quincy High jumped up 6-1. Whitney Buss with the block from the right there to make it 7-1. Hop on the magic bus, if you will. Then it's more Monica Bumbry. You remember last year we showed you her breaking a girl's nose with a spike. This time, a little finesse from Monica. The Devils cruise in the third set, win at 15-5, take this match 2-1. So they win. They advance on to the championship round where they meet Q&D again, and they win that in straight sets, 25-13, 25-18. Q&D suffering its first 2 losses of the season. The Blue Devils, though, now 7-0. Great day of volleyball at Barb Crisp's place, as it always is, for the Early Bird Classic. How about the Sun Classic Finals tonight? Of course we have this for you, Addison Ufkis. Who did you think would show you these highlights? Illini West taking on Liberty right here. Gracie Bostert with the block. Illini West in the lead at that point. Then it's Abby Douglas going to score one here for the Chargers, putting them up 15-12. All 3 of the teams in this pool playing for the championship. Liberty trying to stay close in this one, courtesy of Katie Klaus, and she's been magnificent early on. Great serve for her right there as she gets the ace in, but IW would win the first set on an error and win 25-16 there. Second set, more to come. Coming up right here from Liberty as they get off to a much better start, and again, it's Katie Klaus delivering right there with the big spike for her team. However, Illini West would reverse polarity on this match. It's Holly McDowell putting the Chargers up 19-15. Liberty's Brooke Wewell coming up strong with a kill off the net, but IW takes it 2-0. So IW trying to move on. If they could beat Central, IW is going to win this thing for the first time maybe in forever. I think it would be forever. IW, though, playing against Central and Sarah Bauer's team. That's a tall order. Early on, Erin Flessner slamming the kill for the Panthers, trying to get her team some positive momentum. Central off to the great start in this one as Macy Music's going to come up for the big kill. But Illini West finds its way through, does a great job, and gets the victory today, winning in straight games as Illini West is moving on and picking up a championship, winning that championship pool over both a really good Liberty squad and a really good Central squad. Congratulations to the Lady Chargers on their big win. Other pool winners on the night, we've got great stuff right here coming up as Western wins the bronze pool, Beardstown wins the silver pool, and Unity wins the gold pool. Great efforts all week. Congratulations to Tim Kerr and his group out there at Southeastern. They played wonderful hosts, and we had a really good time out there as well. We've got more for you coming up from the Meredosia tournament today. Triopia taking on Franklin in this one. Stacy Bealey's crew, the Lady Trojans fighting back from an early deficit. It is Elizabeth Weary's right here. She may be weary, but young girls, they do get wearies too. Nice shot for her. Then right here, it's Kylie McGinnis throwing in and throwing down as well as we get the spike right there. Triopia trying to rally back desperately behind Bailey Gans in this match. Couldn't do so. Ends up losing to Franklin today. Other scores from the Meredosia tournament sees Pleasant Hill beat Griggsville Perry today in 3 games. As we go to the scoreboard, take a look at that. We can tell you that that was a Pleasant Hill victory in 3. Also, we've got Griggsville Perry losing to West Central, who I think was your eventual tournament champion in this one. And we will move on to some more scores now and some more highlights. We've got in soccer today, Quincy Notre Dame beating Danville 2-1 at the Q&D tournament with 2 goals from Parker Reese. Meanwhile, earlier in the day, Q&D taking on a really good Maine South team. 0-0 in the second half. Cooper Reese gets a good shot off here, but it's right at the keeper. Then it's Nathan Dreyer with a free kick here. It's punched away. We're still scoreless in this game at that point. Fighting hard in this one was our good friends from Q&D. Still to come, great chance here for Jacob Murphy. He gets open for a split second, can't convert. Maine South just kept finding ways to get free down the stretch. They finally poked one home. Q&D could not. Q&D loses to Maine South 1-0. Maine South ends up winning the tournament today, going 3-0 on the day. One other soccer score to pass along. We have got Williamsville Four Corners Invitational action for third place today. Beardstown falls just short against Riverton.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications.
Who knew? It's overtime commercial free. It's better than anything. And weather updates to boot. You get more at KHQA every time you tune in. Fantastic stuff, Lindsay. Love it. Let's move on now. Well, they found newfound national respect. They've got new top-end goals, even brand spanking new uniforms today. That is fantastic stuff indeed. Suffice it to say, Illinois College is opening up the 2012 season probably is the bellwether in tri-state college football among all our area teams. They're not rebuilding. They don't have anything to redo. They're not retooling. They're not coming off a lousy 2011 season. So that's really good stuff. Garrett Campbell's crew opened what is easily the most anticipated season in school history this afternoon at England Field, and did so with more than a little dash today at the expense of a team that was simply overmatched in Hanover. It started early for Garrett Campbell's crew. It started with the potential All-American sophomore Michael Bates, threw for over 3,000 yards last year. He can run too. This is a 38-yard rumble on the day. Bates, tough kid, not very big, had 86 yards on the ground. That would set up this. Matt Newman punching home the field goal from 29 yards out. Straight and true, made it 3-0. Look at Seth Duncan playing some defense. Garrett Campbell said that would be the most improved part of his team. That is a hot, spicy lick, kids. That is the way you do it. More to come in this one. 3rd and 15. Are you kidding me? The draw play to Cecil Brimage. Much more on him to come in these highlights because he was an absolute historical monster today. That big pickup right there would set up this. Michael Bates on the keeper. His touchdown right there of 11 yards made it 9-0 at that point in favor of the Blue Boys. They are not done. The defense coming up. The doctor is in. Medical student, future medical student, former Jacksonville Route alum Tim Denny. Oh, he diagnosed this one well. Going down the sidelines, rumbling. We're hoping for pick 6 because that's sensational 7 worthy. Oh, Timmy, rumble. Oh, just shy for Tim Denny. But that would set up Cecil Brimage to go in for the touchdown from 4 yards out. I mentioned Brimage today. 341 rushing yards for Brimage. That is a new school record, broke a 29-year-old mark on the season as Illinois College wins, going away with 483 team total rushing yards, winning by the final count in this one of 51-28. One other college score to pass along in the day. It was Graceland beating Culver Stockton 28-17 as Culver Stockton opens on the road with a loss against the team the Wildcats beat last year. Other college scores to pass along today. Culver Stockton in volleyball goes to Illinois College, wins a dandy in 5 sets. Abby Foster leading the way with her defense in that one. Brittany Burgess out of Jacksonville, 17 kills for the defeated Illinois College squad in that game. Meanwhile, Culver Stockton, though, can't take out Lakeland. Abby Foster, another big day playing defense, or another big game, I should say. She had 28 digs there as well. And in Soccer Bowl 15, which just got completed, Quincy University takes the big win over Truman State tonight. 2-0 was your final. Ethan Venverlo out of Quincy does the damage tonight with a goal for his team as well. Well, it is back, my friends, the Con Communications Connection. Every Saturday here on Overtime, we'll spotlight the best sports coupling of the week that was, I should say. It's up to you to vote on the very best of the best for each month. And as an inducement for you to vote for your favorite, we're offering each and every one of you a chance to win a great prize package from Con Communications, simply by going to connecttristates.com at the end of the month and registering your opinion. Ain't democracy grand? We've got your first one coming up right here, courtesy of the West Hancock Titans last night in their tight loss against Monrose. It is the connection right here between Corey Dorothy, your quarterback, and Austin Hardy. Watch it in slow motion, as you're not going to see a better catch at any level anywhere than what Mr. Austin Hardy makes at the end of this. Shoestrings almost completely laid out to get this touchdown. Tell you what, West Hancock, some people said, okay, MMA, they're not very good. That was a nice win, a win they should have had. West Hancock probably should have beat Monrose last night and came darn close to doing so. This might be the most improved football team in the area. Catches like that don't hurt anything at all.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications.
Well, now that we've got our own weather person here on Overtime, isn't it time for my fantasy, the Chris Dewar Sports Final Dancers? They come out every night, they introduce me. That would be so much fun. Stop dancing, girls. That ain't working for me. Let's move on now. As expected, Quincy Notre Dame alum Jack Cornell. Oh, if you could see what goes on behind the scenes here, people, it's just frightening. As expected, Quincy Notre Dame alum Jack Cornell has gainfully employed himself as part of the Baltimore Ravens practice squad, one of 5 previously waived players as of yesterday that the team has stashed away as developmental prospects. Jack can take part in all workouts right now, just isn't eligible to play in any of the team's games unless he's signed to a contract. According to Comcast, Jack had interest from other teams after being waived, but announced today via his Twitter feed that he was staying put and was, quote, reported that he was, quote, thrilled to still be a part of Raven Nation.